Welcome. Can you imagine what the throne room of God might look like? I'm telling you, if you were the most creatively minded person on the earth, I'm willing to suggest that in your most talented expression, you could not come close to the grandeur, the majesty of the real thing. As I try to prepare myself for worship, I'm often overwhelmed. I am going into the sanctuary to meet with God. When the prophet Isaiah was taken into the presence of God, he couldn't even speak. He saw their angels, each one with 6 wings. These angels are so powerful that the very sound of their voices shakes the foundation of this most holy and impressive place. These beings, the Bible calls seraphim, circle around the throne, and all day long they call out, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord." The whole earth is full of His glory. And into this scene that Isaiah was brought, he was brought there by the Spirit. Can you even imagine what it might be like to come into the presence of God? Yet the Lord Jesus died that we might enter into the holies of holies. We have an invitation, the place where the Spirit of God is. Isaiah was not impressed with the angels, nor the throne room, nor the robe of God. He thought he was a dead man because when confronted face to face with that living God, the only and immediate realization is that God is holy, 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 and I am not. But yet I'm invited into the sanctuary. Isaiah literally thought that he was going to die just from the sight of it. But I love that God didn't leave Isaiah in this condition for long. One of the angels immediately flew to Isaiah in his distress, and in his distress he purified him. "My Father's house shall be called the house of prayer." Did you ever wonder what it might be like to enter the church and feel like this might be it? The house of prayer? The house of God. The house that God occupies, the sanctuary. We have tried in our limited way to design our church to be a place where worship begins as we enter. A place where you feel a special presence. Although our God occupies every place that is a place, we must remember that He still wanted a house where His people could assemble. As you walk down the corridor, you see a place to stop and pray, to ask God to bless our worship. Lord, come and be with us today. To ask God to save our children. Father, send a message that will go to my child's heart. To ask God to touch us and for a moment of time be lifted out of this world to stand in the holy place in His presence. You continue down the corridor and you might hear the prayers of the elders ring out as they anoint the sick. A little further along, you might hear the soft weeping of a saint or a child of God taking communion. Passing the treasury where we give to the work of God, not because that we are asked to, because it is simply a pleasure to do so. All of these things, even before we enter the sanctuary. But then, we go through the doors, the beautiful gate, right into the sanctuary, right into worship. I can only imagine.